Don't you know that they'll be watching, waiting for imminent failure? They ran on making up a million ways for you to tell her.
Flameage!
Your denim is a forest, or you're hiding up a tree. It's too bad opportunity doesn't come along with a lifetime guarantee. Yeah. Where's a wind that shot an empty vacant line? Nobody's gone.
You don't know how to get to Rick's Rex? Well, I'm going to tell you. You take the I-69 bypass, loop off on Doglick Road, whip up 13th Street and hang a right, baby, and you're here.
Yeah. If you're the missing link of season, I'm the brink of sin. I'll be more than you can.
Well, hey, if you don't like fixing things and making them just like brand used, this channel may not be for you. Well, hey, it's Rick here, and we're back today working on the War Wagon. Today, this old girl just did not want to stay running, because this is a 1978 Dodge W150 with the choke delete. You may have saw that in the previous videos. Someone had taken the mechanism all out, and I kind of pieced together a choke cable trying to make a manual choke out of it. It really doesn't work. So we're going to keep looking for those parts to put down in the manifold. I know once we get back over on the CrustyChrysler, perhaps those parts will work. I don't know. We'll see. But today what we've got to do is we have got to try to get some brakes on this thing. Now, I say brakes, it actually has brakes. The main problem with them is the front rubber lines that come down off there. Those things are deteriorated, and when you shove that fluid through there, that pushes the calipers out, and then it takes about 3 hours for them to release. So we're going to try to see if we can fix that today. We'll probably wind up breaking everything. But I ordered some parts, so let's get into this and see what we can do. Alright, show you more. Alright, what we got here is some lines and some pads. And let's just pop one of these open and see, because I didn't order them with the little copper washer, and I bet you they didn't come with them. Yeah, they did. Looky there. Came right with them. And, that really don't look like the right line. I don't know. We'll just have to get in there and see. Alright, let's get after it. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is not bore you with taking this wheel off. I think you all know how to do that. So I'm going to jack this thing up, and we're going to pull this wheel off, and then we'll start taking this thing apart and seeing what we can fix. Making it just like brand used, baby. Okay, well, hey, did I mention it's cold today? But the wind is not blowing, and it's not raining, so I think we can get something done here. Alright, so what we got, you can see, well, of course it's in gear, I guess that's true, but this line back here, let me get you down here where you can see. Oh, as you can see, our shocks are in great shape. Okay, so what we got to do is we got to replace this line right here and over to this junction block, which oh, that looks like that'll be fun to get that all loose. Alright, but I suspect part of our problem is this. Now these calipers could be sticking as well. As you can see, the pads are pretty thin on the back side. Front's got quite a bit left on them, but we want to take this all apart, clean this up, and replace this since I already bought it, and then we're going to make sure that the piston goes in and out. And then we'll put the new pads back on, lube all these points up, so because this thing is supposed to be a floating caliper, I guess. That's the way it looks. You guys can correct me. I am not a Mopar man at all, and the last 3 projects I've done have been Mopars. But anyway, normally I'm a Ford guy, so and I haven't one Ford on the property. So anyway, with that being said, let's get this took apart and see what we got. Okay, first thing I want to do before we get going too far is I want to get these little areas like this scraped, all this, you know, 35 years of road whatever scraped off of here. If we're going to have any chance in hell in getting this, oops, did I say that? I'm sorry. Any chance in heck getting this broke free, and I want to get that dirt all cleared off of there. And then back over here is the same way. Let me get you over here where you can see. See, this thing is, we don't want to break that off in the caliper. That would suck. And since that's kind of in a tight spot there, so let's do that. And let's get some spray on here. Just coat her down good. Well, I believe that can's empty. Let's get a new can. The big thing is just to soak all this stuff down real good so that it'll come loose, because we don't know how many years she's been sitting around with these things locked up like this. Obviously, it was not being driven when I bought it. If you go back and check on the other episodes, you'll find out some of that goody stuff. Alright, let's let that set a minute, and then we'll see if we can break any of this loose. Alright, show you more. Alright, well, that's been soaking for a little while. Let's see if we can get that to break loose any. Now, one of the things I will do, if I can get a wrench on here, let's say that that's been wrenched on before. Get that worked on there a little bit. Let's see here. There we go. Now, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to, because we scratched this up pretty good and we sprayed some stuff on it. You saw that earlier. So I'm going to scrape off any excess rust that's kind of, you know, and then I'm going to spray a little more stuff on it, just a little there, because I want to give that fitting a fighting chance to break loose from this. So I'm going to put this vice grip on here, and I'm not going to crimp this down really tight. I'm just going to kind of snug it up. Well, maybe a little tighter than that, but because I don't want to crush that line, I just want to, and my hands are probably right in the way, so I don't know if you can see that. So that is on there just a little. I just want to kind of move this a little bit and see if that will break loose at all. And it is not looking good, guys. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is heat that up a little bit. Alright, show you more. Flameage! Oops, I forgot to put this on there. You got to put this on there first. I may have mashed that line a little. You don't want to do that. Hey, she moved a little. Trying to twist that and not break that line off there, see? Right now, she's moving that line pretty good. she's beginning to loosen up there a little, I think. Let's put a little of this on there. I think we'll let that set a minute. Okay, well, let's see. I'll let that sit there a little bit. Let's put some more stuff on her here. Yeesh, that went right in my face. That felt good. Well, she's loose, or she's loosening up, but I'm afraid that the line is wanting to turn on us a little, which is what I was afraid of. Let's see if we can get this on there. Kind of hold that line a little bit. She's wanting to turn pretty good there, guys. If you guys got a better way of doing this, you bleep bloop that down below, as Derek would say, and you tell me how you do this, because I don't know, you know, this is uncharted territory for me, sorta, kinda, not really, but been down this road before, but I'm trying to keep from replacing this brake line. Tell you what I might do, is that thing is really stuck and I don't want to break this off, so I think I'm going to take it loose over here, because it's broke loose between the rubber line and here. I'll take it loose over here and then spin this line off. Let's try that. Okay, so I got my brake line taken loose over there, and you know, I pulled the bolt out and took the copper washers off, which this new line came with new washers, so let's see if we can get this. I gotta put these gloves on. It's still cold out here, guys. Alright, let's pop this off in here and see if we can get this retainer clip off, because we don't want to break that either. Well, let's see here. Well, I do not understand what is going on with that thing. She's just made in there from 40 years of driving into crap, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Everything is just as tight as can be. Oops. Well, she ain't wanting to come up out of there, fellers and fellettes. There she goes. You just got to play with it a little. Alright, there's that piece out of there. Well, drop that on the floor. Let's see what we got here now. Okay. Let's just clean this off with a little PB blaster. Now I know that this is broke loose between here and here because some of the brake fluid, you probably saw that, some of that there brake fluid came out. So let's get this line wrench back on here. Oops. Maybe. Maybe not. There we go. Okay, now let's see if we can get that to slip on around there a little. Ah, I see. That thing's got a notch in it. There we go. Now we should be able to get it off there. Looky there. More than one way to skin a cat, guys. There we go. That booger is off there. Alright, show you more. Okay, let's compare these two. Here's the new one, and here's the old one. Now, that block looks a little different size on the exterior there. But the hole appears to be the same. And then the other end of it is a little different design. It's got a removable retainer clip here, where this one is, I don't know, that looks like it's just like made on there. I don't know how they must have crushed it on there, I guess. So I think what we'll do is we'll get this, and boy, look, that's really soft. This one is so hard. We'll have to blow some air through it and see if it actually lets any fluid through there. So, all right, let's get this new one on here, and I think that's going to be as simple as sticking this on here, and we're just going to spin it and get it threaded up on this old line that we didn't break loose, and we are going to tighten that down a little. Let me see here what we got. Get this little duker back on here. Now I'm not going to over tighten this, but I do want to tighten it down a little bit. Okay, there's that. And that should pop up in there. It did earlier. What's going on now? Let's see. That thing's like a 12-point socket, so you got to get that just in there just right. There we go. And let's put our retainer clip back on. Okay, there's that part. Now that just leaves our line here to hook up over here on our caliper. Alright, show you more. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take these retainer clips, these bolts out, and we're going to pull this caliper over here because, you know, our line is unhooked. So, and it's okay for that to be, in the way I look at things, is this is okay for this to be hanging here. You probably saw that we were dripping fluid out of the end of this when we hooked up to it, so it's going to take a little while to fill this up with fluid. But it'll gravity feed through there a little bit, and so, you know, because we're going to wind up having to bleed this system out. So anyway, you know, because that fluid's going to run through this connection back here, and it should start dripping out of here eventually. So let's get this caliper off here. Should be another one down here someplace. Whee! I believe that she's taut. Broke that one right off, fellers. Right there. There she goes. Alright. Let's see what we get into with that. Let's see if we can get this top one out. Let's see if we can get that caliper off there. There we go. There she is. So that shoe ain't really too bad, but boy, she's been setting a while. That shoe ain't too bad either, really. Where did we broke that piece off right here. Let's get down here where we can see that. So there's where we broke that off. So we'll have to drill that out. So, you know, it's always something. Alright, show you more. Okay, so what we got to do is we have got to make our little, punch a little centerpiece in the center of this bolt that's broke off. Well, if I could ever get her in the center. That's pretty close. And I'm sure this is a hard bolt of some sort. Okay, so let's see how this works. May not work worth a crap, I don't know. Well, it ain't never gonna work if I can't. What's the tip of this broke off or something? No, don't look like it. It don't look like it is. Well, that's going to take a little bit, so let me get this drilled out, and then we're going to go to a little bigger size, and then we can probably get an easy out. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Show you more. Of course, now that we got this axle freed up, see that U-joint right there? That old baby is, that ain't working too good. And then if you look real close here, this one is a little bit sloppy, but wait till you see this one over here. Let me get you where you can see this one. See, the brakes was so locked up before I could never tell. Look at that one. That thing is moving almost like a quarter of an inch. So we get to fix those and fix this one. Whoops. And fix this one. And I noticed that that one is not much either. So 1, 2, and then I don't even know how you change these. I mean, I may have to take it to down to Denny's and have that done. Get these 2 knuckles here changed, because I don't have the tools for all of this stuff. I know. So anyway, let's get back to this. I got this drilled out, used my smaller bit like we talked about, and then we used the bigger bit, and now I've got a die, I call it, and this is a die that you use to get it started, and then this is a bottoming tap. Yeah, that's it, tap. So we're going to start with this one first, then we'll clean it out with this one. And I've got me a new bolt here with a washer. I might try to get that washer off of there because I like the size of that one, but we'll see. Alright, let's see what we can get done. Okay, so we got a bunch going on here now. So we talked about earlier that I was going to let this gravity fill this from the reservoir up there, and that's what it's doing. It's beginning to drip. It's not dripped much, but it's dripped a little. And what we got to do with this caliper is we got to push this piston back, and we lost a little bit of this fluid, so I'm going to kind of hold it upwards when I do this, and I'm going to push this back. See if I can get you down here where you can see. Take this doogie whopper there, and let's see if we can't get this propped up a little like that. And I already ensured that my bleeder screw would open, and it does. That's the only thing so far that hasn't been stuck. So let's put this old shoe back on here. And this may not be a big enough clamp. I don't know. We'll see. I actually have somewhere a caliper clamp that you're supposed to use for this, and you know, I don't know where it's at. Probably the same place where all my money's at. I don't know. So let's see if this one will go out big enough, and of course it will not. So let me see if I can find a bigger clamp. Alright, let's see if this one will go on there. Well, heck no, that won't fit on there either. Well, I can't find my clamp for this. I've got a little clamp, so I'm going to use this big wood clamp, because this will work. So what we want to do is push this back in here, and I'm keeping it kind of with this up because we're going to lose some fluid out of here as we compress this back, see? And I don't want to get a bunch of air in here if we don't have to. Plus we're going to get some of the crap out of it. There. Ooh, yeah, that's nasty. That's some nasty stuff there, buddy. I believe she's trying to turn back to alcohol and water or whatever this stuff is made out of. Alright. Let's release that. Now then, let's get some brake clean and kind of clean this up. This thing doesn't have any groove. I mean, this is really nice, actually. So I don't think the problem was in the actual brake shoes. Feller could reuse these if I hadn't already bought some. But, well, this one's kind of crusty. It's kind of broken and brittle. But I think the problem was in these this whole line. And we ought to just see if we can blow some air through that, just for shits and grins. Let's just see. Yeah, it's trying to come out of there. She was in pretty bad shape, though. Anyway, all right. Let me get some brake clean. We'll get this cleaned up and get this reassembled. All right, show you more. Okay, so what I did here was I got this put back together, and I did use some anti-seize along this edge so that this caliper is supposed to be able to float around, see, like this. And that thing was all stuck before, so that'll allow that to float around as it tightens up and releases. And I've got this cracked open right here just because I want to let a little naturally gravity-fed fluid fill this back up because we dumped some out of it, obviously, you saw that. And it's beginning to ooze out right there. So that's what I want to just try to get some air out. So I'm going to leave that open, opened up a little, and until that gets, you know, a pretty good drip out of it, and then we'll shut it off. All right. So let's button this one back up. I want to clean this up a little bit, and then we'll get the wheel and everything put back on it. All right, show you more. All right, let's get this wheel back on here. On here. going to turn this down to about 2 because I don't want to. I want to torque these with the torque wrench. So I'm just trying to center them up here a little bit. I'm gonna go get my torque wrench. Okay, now I got that sitting back down on the ground for some weight because this ain't limited slip front end. You know, it's gonna turn on me if I don't. And I use just this old one. It's good enough for me. Been working for me for, I don't know, 25, 30 years. That's about 80. So we're gonna kind of do them this way across here. Okay, now I'm going up to about 110. 110, something like that. Now, I'm sure there's a lot better way to do this, but this is the onlyest way I know how. Just gonna check them all again. Let's see, I thought I'd missed that one. And I did. There we go. And I have found with these wheels, these kind of wheels, you know, you drive this about 20 miles and then re-torque them. Because I've had them come off. Once you get them on there, they'll stay, but I would never buy them. But like I said, this is what came with the old girl. Alright, show you more. Okay, well I think you get the gist of what's going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get back over here and I'm going to do this side. And then we'll get it all setting back down. We know we've got more work to do on it because we found those U-joints that are bad. The ones on the drive shafts I think I can fix. The other two in the axles, I don't know about that. I'm going to have to research it and see if I've got the tools. I've done some stuff like this on Fords, but this looks a little different up here on the front end of this thing. So anyway, I'll get back with you here shortly after I get this thing buttoned up and we'll see if it's got any brakes. Alright, making it like brand new, baby. Well, hey, thanks for watching the video today. We got the brakes put on the old girl, the old war wagon. So yeah, it's running pretty good. I just drove it down to the gas station to get some gas in it because, you know, this thing is really thirsty. So got 5 gallons of gas in there for $20.15. I don't know what gas prices are where you're at, but they're just crazy here. So anyway, not as bad as some places though, from what I understand. Anyway. Got it rolling now, so what I'm going to do, you know, we saw those U-joints that are iffy down under there, so I don't want to drive it much. So I'm going to get a hold of the guy down here in town that I know that's got a shop, and he's got some tools, because there's an inner bearing on that hub, I'm pretty sure. I looked up on YouTube, and that's got to be pressed out once you pull those out to change the U-joint that's down in that knuckle. So the other U-joints I could change. But since he's going to have it up on the lift, I think I'll just have him change both U-joints that are bad. On the one on the front drive shaft is the front one, and the one on the back drive shaft is the front one. So both of those are compromised, and we'll get him to change the 2 bearings in the turning part up there, whatever that 4-wheel driving thing is called up there. And I think the one actually on the driver's side, I think probably the bearing is bad in it too. That bearing has to be pressed in and out. So, because when I had it up in the air, I took a bar and kind of moved it around, and it seems like it's got an awful lot of slop to me. But I don't know because I have never had one of these before. So, anyway, you guys can comment down below, tell me exactly what my problem is, probably. So, anyway. enough said with that. Thanks for coming along today. Thanks for subscribing. Definitely going to the No Name Nationals this year. We've got our 500 subscriptions and we're working on 1,000 now. So help us out, get us up there to 1,000. And I'll link the No Name Nationals in right here. And remember to share and, just reach up there and subscribe. A lot of you are watching the videos. It looks like it's still about 92% of you that watch the videos are not subscribed. And I don't know how that can be. I mean, it doesn't cost anything. I mean, I can subscribe from my phone. I can subscribe from watching it on my monitor in the house through Roku, and I can subscribe on my computer. So I don't know why you just don't subscribe. Turn that bell on. That's what you need to do, so you know all the new content coming up. So anyway, enough of that said. Don't forget, the first 25 that send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, yes, I'm old-fashioned, I would just as soon have the envelope mailed to me with a stamp on it, I will send you an RCindustry sticker. So remember, here on this channel, we're making it just like brand used, baby.